Like most people climbing Kilimanjaro, my trip started by boarding an airplane. I flew out of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Kenya. I was heading south to Kilimanjaro International Airport in Tanzania. Our flight path took us between Mount Meru and Mount Kilimanjaro. The flight was only about 45 minutes long. I managed to spill coffee on my lap right away, but the mountain views ended up making up for that. Once on the ground, I was collected by a lady whose only job it was to put me in a car headed to the Springlands Hotel in Moshi. The drive to the Springlands Hotel takes about an hour. My driver was a friendly and talkative fellow. He wanted me to ask him a lot of questions about Tanzania because he seemed to have a real sense of pride in his country, and he wanted to share all this wonderful information with me. After checking in and meeting some of the staff, I headed up to my room.
This is room 27 at the Springlands Hotel in Moshi, Tanzania. This is the property owned by Zara Tours. I don't know why I got such a big room with 3 beds, but I did. Sink, toilet, and a shower. That's the Springlands Hotel, room 27. I just had an orientation with my guide and some of the staff here at Zara Tours. We didn't go over anything that wasn't in the paperwork, except they have storage here, so if you bring 2 bags, you pack one with all the stuff you don't want to take, and they will put it in a locked room for you. They also have safety deposit box. They don't want you taking cash up onto the mountain. Yeah, so my guide seemed really nice, and I think we're gonna make a pretty good team to get up there and touch the top, the roof of Africa. Right now I am sorting my gear. I just emptied my travel bag and my climbing bag, and now I'll start moving things back and forth between the two. Pack up this, pack up that, and pack up my backpack for the climb tomorrow. I'm gonna be taking an additional 3 liters of water. For the first day, I'm responsible for my own water. So Kilimanjaro is kind of the mountain that got me into this idea of climbing big mountains. Back in the 2000s, there was a movie called An Inconvenient Truth, and they talked about how the glaciers on Kilimanjaro were going to eventually evaporate. And I thought, my gosh, I'd really like to see those before that happens. So I started looking into coming here, and I found that it was pretty expensive to get here. So I went and climbed Mount Rainier instead. Man, that's all she wrote. Once I did Rainier, I was hooked because it is such a fantastic climb. So there's a little backstory. Climbed Rainier, some other mountains over the years, and now I'm finally here to do the one mountain that set me on this journey many years ago. So yeah, I'm very excited. It's just about go time. My only real concern about this climb now is that I am battling a cold, and I'm hoping this isn't going to affect my ability to breathe higher up. No turning back now.
After breakfast, it was time to head out. I locked up my valuables and was led out of the compound and across the street to a 4x4 waiting to drive us to Machame Gate. First, we made a pit stop at the bank. Then we made a pit stop at the supermarket, and then we were on our way. We headed up the slopes of Kilimanjaro and through the village of Machame. Interesting fact, my guide told me that the trails on Kilimanjaro are generally named after the villages they start in.
Here we are at Machame Gate. 5 hours to Machame Camp, only 32 hours to the summit. Toilets are right behind. And that's the gate. This is the tourist shelter where we have to wait until everybody gets situated above us and signed in. always need to go through a metal detector, which is problematic since I have a lot of different metal items in my bag. I am off climbing Kilimanjaro, about a 1/10 of a mile so far. It's very damp. Security process to get on the mountain is a bit of a bear. Can't have any metal items in your bag or on your person, so be aware because that process takes a long time. I practically got naked in there. One other thing I should say is that it's much cooler here at the Machame Gate than I was expecting as well. And it's a real pain in the butt to have carefully packed your entire bag and then have to take out all the contents to pass their metal detector. And then feel so rushed that you just jam everything back into it. Lunch was good, had some mystery meat, packed like a kebab, piece of chicken, some bread, and a juice box. It was a fine mountain lunch. What is this area?
Moorland.
The moorland.
Yeah.
Almost 5 hours. 6.43 miles. It looks pretty amazing up there in the hills behind. That's the way we are going tomorrow. Shira Plateau. Alright, look at this setup. Have my own table and chairs, mat. Wow, luxury. I love having a chair. I need to do this everywhere I go. My waiter just came by and he set my table. Holy cow. Let's see, what do we have here? We've got some chai, bora, tea, some powdered milk, some peanut butter, some honey. Oh, that's good. Need some honey. Some medium fat spread. Sounds delicious. And Africafe. Then over here we have salt, toothpicks, and sugar. I forgot to mention I brought some hot water and some soap so I could wash my face and hands. The latest developments are that tea and popcorn were served. That's Kilimanjaro. That's my tent. Pretty amazing stuff here. Machame Camp. The soup course is here. Let's see how it looks. Lentil soup. Looks good. It's good. The main course has arrived. Looks like some sort of cabbage slaw, potatoes, and what look like pieces of fish. I guess that's why we get it on day one. Some avocado showed up. Not a bad meal to be eaten in the bush. Oh wait, I didn't mention. They also brought a vegetable sauce. And a light. Cool. There it is. Alright, it's day 2. I slept an awful lot last night. However, I don't feel like I got any good sleep. Been up all night coughing. But my head and my stomach are fine, so I'm gonna push on today. Apparently the plan for today is to move up to Shira Plateau from Machame Camp. Be about the same amount of time as yesterday, though the trail will be steeper. And we're gonna lose the trees. So there's a possibility of some wind. So far this morning I've received mango, porridge, and tea. I must apologize, that is papaya. The sun feels so good right now. Machame Camp below us. Porters are tough.
That's pretty neat.
That's Machame Camp down there. The first toilet is 1.16 miles from Machame Camp, and it's taken us like 3.5 hours to get here. Shira Cave Camp, 5 hours and 6 minutes, 2.45 miles. All right, thank you. What a heck of a view from my tent. I imagine people are gonna come and sit in that and put up their tents in this space here, but at least for now, the peaks out there look incredible. Toilets down there, ranger station, more toilets. The sign is right there. It's a big, expansive area. And that's Shira Cave Camp for you. So today's hike, he kept the pace that he said he was going to keep, but for some reason it felt like punishment. It was so slow, and I think we left first and we're here almost last, so it was long. But I'll give him some credit. His nickname is Mr. 99%, so if he gets me up there and down and without any major problems, then it will all have been worth it. Now it's lunchtime. Sabi sana.
Welcome in.
Thank you. Lunch is served. Some sort of orange-looking fruit. That's not orange. There's a meat sauce, spaghetti, and a vegetable. Toilets. I was just led by my waiter Moody
Past the Shira Caves, then up to a high point on a rocky ridge.
and he's an aspiring guide. Maybe one day I'll come back and climb Mount Meru and he will guide me. That'd be cool. But it was good, just to get out and stretch your legs. We got here at 1, so we've had a lot of time to do nothing. Dinner starts soon, I think. The sun... dinner's in like an hour. That is... it's a huge figure. That is where we had hiked to for a little acclimatization, stretch your legs hike. More people are going up. Sunset on Kilimanjaro. Tonight's soup, cucumber, with some bread wedges. Tonight's dinner, a lot of rice, some green beans, and a sauce with chicken in it. Oh, it looks good. All right, let's dig in. Wow. All right, so just had our briefing for tomorrow. Be heading out at 8 o'clock, and we should arrive at Barranco Camp around 4. We're going to go up to Zara Tower, and that's where we're going to have lunch. So we're going to go up, have lunch, then we're going to drop down into a little valley, and then we'll be at Barranco Wall overnight. So as far as today went, it was slow, as I mentioned before, but I think we work pretty well together. And I feel good. If I didn't have this cough that's keeping me awake and waking up everyone around me, I would really be feeling super duper strong. Looking forward to tomorrow. Oh boy, see? The porridge has arrived. Oh yeah. The main course has arrived.
This morning we left camp on our way to Lava Tower for lunch. Although there is a steady incline, this stretch of trail might be the easiest on the Machame route as we make our way towards Kibo. Kibo is the highest of the 3 volcanic cones that make up Kilimanjaro, the others being Shira and Mawenzi. There are great views behind us overlooking the Shira Plateau. Lava Tower will be our highest point of the day before dropping a couple thousand feet to Barranco Camp.
It's pretty neat looking. We are at 4,000 meters, officially out of the moorland and into the semi-desert. It's pretty beautiful around here. Let me show you what I see. Clouds are starting to move in. There's Mount Meru. Shira Cathedral, I think is what these peaks are called. That's Shira Camp. I can see my bag making its way up. So the route goes across like this. Then the porters skip Lava Tower, go underneath, and that way. This is not Lava Tower, it's actually behind. We're gonna go up there for lunch today. Yeah, it smells new.
You have to go down now.
You know, it doesn't look that challenging to go down there and come back up. We're at about 15,000 feet. Lava Tower Camp. And we're just here for lunch. So I don't think we're going to be climbing Lava Tower. Tents are already set up here. And put together my tent as though I never left it. The craziness that is climbing Kilimanjaro. VIP treatment, they say. Starting with some coffee and some sliced mango. And lunch is served. Got some stew. It looks pretty good. There's chicken in there too.
Out of Lava Tower, we drop down through a gully, then continue our descent to Barranco Camp. In order to climb mountains this high, you need to acclimatize, or allow your body to adapt to the lower oxygen level as you ascend the mountain. Climbing too fast is often the major cause of altitude sickness, and part of the acclimatization process deployed on Kilimanjaro is to climb high and sleep low, at least on day 3. One of the plants that becomes more numerous on this section is the Dendrosenecio kilimanjari. Only found on Kilimanjaro, these plants have adapted to the harsh climate by being able to store water and use its dead foliage to insulate itself from the cold. Oh yeah. Oh, I see it, yeah.
Yeah, blue star.
Yeah, pretty cool. Impressive. We came down from over there. We dropped 2,000 feet. So he said we would be here by 4 and it's 3:52. Right on the money again. Some other glaciers up there. Wow. Well, this is the Barranco Wall. You can kind of see it making its way up to the ridge there. That'll be right after breakfast. Barranco Camp is a massive camp. This is for all the people on Machame and Moshi. And during peak season, I imagine all these spaces are filled in. Not too shabby. Moody just stopped by with some hot water and some soap. I'm feeling so good. It's amazing what a little cleaning can do. Tea and popcorn showed up. There's a lot of excitement at camp. It sounds like either Tanzania is playing another country or 2 teams in Tanzania are playing each other for a title. They're listening to it all over the place, all the guides and porters, and screaming constantly. So it adds some excitement. Sitting here in Barranco Camp. Appetizer. Some sort of soup, I don't know. And these are something with spice in them. These things are some kind of hush puppy. And I don't know what the soup is, but it was good. For the main course, we've got pasta with green beans in it and mango. And there's a sauce to go with the pasta. Well, bringing day 3 to an end. Today was a fairly long day. We made our way out of Shira Cave Camp and up to Lava Tower, and then ate lunch, a huge lunch. And then so Lava Tower is at 15,000 feet, and then we dropped 2,000 feet. And here we are at Barafu Camp. Just had a big dinner. We're not at Barafu Camp, we're at Barranco Camp, because tomorrow morning we are climbing the Barranco Wall. So tomorrow, another 7 hours of hiking, where we get to base camp. He's calling it base camp. I don't know if it's Barafu Camp or some other camp, but yeah, 7 hours. Hopefully we'll get there about 4. We're going to leave here a little bit earlier than normal, and then we'll shoot for the summit at midnight. Health is pretty good. I'm eating well, feel strong, no problems except for this damn cough and runny nose that keep me up. But I took some Dayquil because that's all I have left, and we'll see what happens tonight. Alright, until tomorrow. Apparently I didn't film my breakfast this morning, but I can say with some confidence that there was porridge and fruit involved. We set out early to tackle the 800-foot Barranco Wall. The wall is made up of steep and narrow paths that require the occasional use of hands to ascend. It seems many people worry about this section of trail, but I would bet that most of them would say that it isn't nearly as difficult or frightening as they expected. Watching the porters climb this section with backpacks on and balancing huge sacks on their heads kind of puts the difficulty level into perspective. The first 10% of the wall is the most challenging. Unfortunately, I had some battery issues and didn't get to capture much of this section. However, I did get what I think is the most famous part, the kissing rock, which is right here.
This is the kissing rock?
Yeah. Just come. Yeah, from there. Yes.
Good.
Karibu.
Oh yeah.
It took us about an hour and a half to get to the top of the wall. From here we will continue our way through a couple of small valleys towards Machame Camp, where we'll have lunch. After lunch, it's a 2,000-foot climb to Barafu Camp, from which we will make our summit attempt.
Semi-desert. Uri.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? This is where people who are doing the 7-day Machame stay an extra night. It looks pretty amazing.
Lunch at Machame Camp.
So my guide and I were talking, and he presented the idea of maybe going to the summit tonight and then going all the way to the parking lot tomorrow, because he can see that this cough that I have is really becoming an issue. So I'm entertaining the idea. I don't know. If my appetite stays up, maybe we can do it. I'll let you know when I know. Barafu Camp, 4 hours from here. And that's where we'll stay. That's where we'll stay until it's time for our summit bid.
Leaving the Karanga Valley, there is no more plant life, only a barren landscape. We took a break in an interesting spot where people have stacked cairns all over the place. This is the last valley before Barafu Camp, which is located on the ridge to the left of the trail. It almost looks like a fortress, although what I think look like pillboxes are actually toilets. There is no water at Barafu Camp, so there is a steady stream of porters bringing water up from the Karanga Valley below. Once on the ridge, Barafu Camp is still another 20 minutes away. By the way, Barafu means ice in Swahili.
First look at Moenzi. You gotta be kidding. Look at this view. That's Mawenzi, the second highest peak. Alright, we've got in at 3 o'clock. The porters are super fast. They came up here, put all our stuff together, and now I'm gonna take a little rest. Barafu Camp. It really ducks down over the edge here. Some lucky people get the setup up here. Some toilets. Looks like a dangerous endeavor. Some people coming down. Looks like we're gonna go straight up from my tent, which is like right there. We go up over that, and then still a point up there, and around to the summit. I have to say that the saddle here is much more expansive than I had thought it would be. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Not sure what the soup is here at Barafu Camp, but it's delicious. Followed up with spaghetti, avocado, and a sauce, which looks to have chicken and vegetables in it. Alright, it's 6:35. I had 2 bowls of soup and some spaghetti for dinner. And it's about go time. Gonna wake up at 11, leave here at midnight, and then we're gonna go up 4,000 feet to the summit. 6 hours to Stella Point, and then another hour, so 7 hours total to the summit. Spend a few minutes there, and then we'll turn around and hightail it out of there. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm cold, and I'm ready to get this thing over with. Probably won't do much filming on the way up, but I will try and catch some stuff on the way down. Wish me luck. Talk to you guys later. Oh, I don't know if Nechi cursed me, because he said that our summit bid would be a piece of cake. Breakfast. Tea. Packed. Let's do it.
We left Barafu Camp a little after midnight. We climbed out of camp and I felt like the first hour or so seemed fairly easy. Then the incline steepened. After another hour or so, having no quality sleep in the last 7 days finally kicked in and I felt exhausted. I actually fell asleep while walking a couple of times. The sun started to rise and I immediately felt 100% better. Looking down into the outer crater was amazing, and seeing the glaciers was literally a dream come true. We continued towards the summit. Looking off towards Miro, you could see the shadow of Kilimanjaro cast off into the horizon. Truly an epic scene. We reached the summit at the 6.5 hour mark. After 10, maybe 13 minutes on the summit, we turned around. I was feeling great, and we tore down the mountain, making it back to Barafu Camp in just under 2 hours. The plan was to rest for an hour, eat breakfast, and head down to Machame Camp. My guide graciously let me sleep for an hour and 45 minutes before serving breakfast.
Here's lunch. I've got no appetite. Soup's pretty good. It's kind of cheesy.
After taking one last look at the route up, it was time to turn our attention to the route down. A little groggy, we set off down the mountain. Slowly the vegetation started to reappear. At first grasses and flowers, then bushes, then the bushes turned into trees. We took a break at High Camp. I spent my time constantly looking back at Kibo, for fear each time might be my last. We set off again towards Machame Camp. We re-entered the moorland vegetation zone, and finally, 2 hours and 45 minutes after leaving Barafu Camp, we pulled into Machame Camp. My guide Nechi asked what I wanted to do, and I said, I want to get off this mountain. This seemed to make everybody happy in our group. During the last 24 hours, my cough became so violent that I was worried that I had fractured my ribs because my ribs began to hurt, especially when coughing, which I was still doing constantly. Turns out nothing was broken, but I did have something called costochondritis, which is the inflammation of the cartilage that connects the ribs to the breastbone.
I've also arranged a rescue car.
While descending, my guide arranged for a park vehicle to pick us up at the furthest point up the trail that a vehicle can travel. This rescue service is actually paid for by your park fees. Although I didn't feel like I was in bad enough shape to need a rescue vehicle, I wasn't about to turn one down. We hung out in the parking lot until our ride came and picked us up to drive us back to Moshi. So I got back a day early. 6-day Machame turned into a 5-day Machame. Everyone here is super nice. Everyone's congratulating me. It's pretty impressive that they all have some idea of what the people here are doing or have done. So that was pretty nice. So who is Kilimanjaro for? Well, it's for everybody. On this mountain I have seen everybody, from teens to retirees, and they're all doing it. Yeah, it's for everybody. So my experience here in Africa has been absolutely fantastic. I did spend some time in Kenya and we went on safari, and that was not only a bucket list item, but an experience that can't be duplicated anywhere else. So that was fantastic. Then I came down here to Tanzania. You know, one of the best parts of coming to Africa is just driving around to see all these people and the way they live their lives. It's really interesting. Climbing Kilimanjaro, absolutely fantastic. It's such a different experience than any other mountain I've been on, with the porters and the cooks and the guides and just all these different pieces working together, and you as a tourist. It's definitely a experience worth having. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.